Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
What are we even doing here?
Yo, Wi-Fi fighting, but they holding it down. How about them J-era Maz ballers running Beantown? They say these guys are ridiculous, yet probably true. Like the 23 Celtics, they got a deep crew. Pregame Papa trying to make some bank. Professor Pete repping Latvia, KP the thank. RJ's on the email taking fools to college. Joey, Matt, Timo, Robin, let's acknowledge. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? In the garden, fighting for a quiet spot. Jack's taking notes while the crowd gets hot. Irate, insightful, not a diplomat. Sam's got a long list and it's just for rats. Rat list your Wi-Fi, rat list your dog. Rat list Bronny, rat list LeBron. Rat list the traffic, rat list the song. Rat list is getting too long. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? Might think they're chill, but don't get it twisted. They're not just hustling, they're highly gifted. Still new to the scene and making their mark. It's a humble beginning, it's a hero's arc. Sam's keeping it real with the Starkey vibe, but he's all in with Jack when it's time to ride. Your ass hat in the chat, Jack says don't come back. He's got zero patience for nonsense attacks. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here?
Whoa, we made it. Happy Sunday. Pregame live, Celtics Magic at TD Garden. Check when the birthday hat's on the screen.
I had to take the other thing off, so I just clicked something and took it off.
Okay, all right. We are here with Robbie Fletcher. Robbie, hello.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Welcome back. We're happy to have you back. Last pregame with you was awesome. So we are thrilled that you're back. Were you here for a Magic game the last time, too?
Yeah, I think I'm only going to do Orlando games with you guys.
There's only one left.
Yeah.
We're running out.
I just feel comfortable with Orlando.
Maybe Florida games. Maybe we give you the Southeast Division.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie is our Florida man specialist.
Florida man from Richmond, Virginia.
Yes.
Well, DC,
Bingo.
that's Southeast Division, so I think that
Yeah.
the whole region.
I've only been in a Florida airport, too, so it's not like I have any, feel for the region or the state.
It's disappointing. It means we don't have that much insight coming about the environment and everything. But, Celtics looking to bounce back after what was a terrible, terrible loss to the Nets on Friday. We've hashed it out. We did our post game for our ceremonious 800th episode of the podcast on Friday to discuss the Nets. But, Robbie, any takeaways from that game? Anything that stuck out to you in particular?
Yeah, I think the lasting image of that game is the Porter Jr. handoff at the top of the arc and just how incredibly successful it was and how painful it was to just watch it over and over. Just absolutely dominate the clutch minutes.
It was the NBA tush push, as I put it. It was they couldn't stop it. They had nothing for it. It was a tough showing from the Celtics. Jack, how are the vibes down there today?
Fine. I think pretty standard for what we usually see around this time. They've got Ipswich Middle School basketball playing on the court right now.
You guys can kind of see it behind me. They have the in-arena stuff on this TV over my shoulder, which is my favorite feature of the ninth floor right now.
Ball movement looks good. Driving kick, easy layup. Seeing good basketball on the floor right now. We'll see about in 30 minutes time. But right now, it's pretty good.
Yeah, RJ pointing out the Maine Celtics had a tremendous comeback today. Your money would be right if you put it on Jack and Noah discussing this before the game. Noah being like, Jack, we should have went up to Maine today.
Didn't even watch it.
She was like, yeah, I watched it today. It was incredible. We should have went. They've been doing good. 4 in a row. I think I saw online that they've won, which is great. Ron Harper Jr. has been playing really well up there, which is an exciting thing with him coming back to the Celtics this season. Maybe they could use him. Maybe they could do something with him. Chris Boucher just continues to be missing, as RJ points out. But yeah, I don't know. The Celtics going into today's game, by the way, I'm pretty sure Jalen Suggs is out as well as Paolo. So you're seeing a little bit of a depleted Magic team. They could use all the help they could get. They could use anything to get them a win. It feels like they're in desperate need of it heading into this 10-game stretch.
Yeah, we got starters rolling in now. Pritchard, White, Brown, Walsh, Keita. I would need to check the numbers. It feels like Walsh has taken over the most starts so far. It's him or Minot, I think, at the 4. But, I mean, this looks like a pretty consistent run for him. Magic are starting Black, Bain, Wagner, De Silva, and Matadze. I don't know if – did you say Wendell Carter Jr. is out as well, Sam? Or no, you said Banchero. So I don't know if Wendell Carter Jr. is out. I'll check.
Wendell Carter Jr. is active. He's just listed as DNP off the bench right now, but he's there. For perspective, Paolo is not listed. Jalen Suggs is not listed.
This is Goga's first start of the season, I have to assume.
Let's pull it up.
Let me look.
What's up, Phil?
Goga has... Yeah, this is his first start of the season.
Black Bane. Interesting. I didn't see Suggs until that's news to me. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, he's been playing really well since they last played Boston as well. He's one of 7 guys in double figures. He's given them 18 points a night. Like, he's been playing very solid with Bane as well. So it's like, it's going to be interesting to see what Orlando looks like right now. I actually really wasn't expecting them to be so depleted entering this game.
It is funny because Orlando has been
Wendell Carter's out.
Wendell Carter's out. Okay.
Okay.
I guess they just, for some reason, have him listed in the box score up here. Well, it's good that we have that taken care of. But Orlando right now, winners of 7 of their last 10, riding a 3-game win streak into Boston today. Not to, discount the fact that guys are sitting out, but it is still going to be a challenge. The Celtics are probably going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, if I had to guess. With what Jalen had to say after the game on Friday, he was pissed, wasn't happy with the team's effort. It would be shocking, in my opinion, for them to come out and lay an egg completely today. They may lose still, but they're going to try, at least. The effort will not be a problem.
I agree. I don't think they're going to be flat-footed after Jalen Brown's comments post-game on, Friday night. Like you said, who knows what will happen. This is a depleted Magic team, but Celtics, I think in spite of that Nets loss, have been playing well as of late. They've had a couple tough losses, a couple bad losses this season too. The Rockets loss was bad, Nets loss was bad, Jazz loss wasn't great either. But I think I haven't been too upset with the performances despite their record, so we'll see if that translates. I don't know. I'm excited. I will say, for as much as this team is not as talented, doesn't have the same expectations as past year, I do find myself excited. I would say more excited to watch this team on a night-to-night basis than last year, just because of how much unknown there is and how much we don't really know what's going to happen, who's going to play. Like, are they going to pick up full court? Is Baylor Shireman going to have a big game? Is Jordan Walsh going to have a big game? Is Jalen Brown going to be the score tonight? Is Peyton Pritchard going to get hot? Is what plays? It just feels so different because of how creative Joe has been getting with lineups, rotations, and game plan. So I've enjoyed watching this team thoroughly every game.
It's so interesting to. I think you said it there, but like embracing just the new rotations every game is really probably the most exciting part about this team. But it's so unique in that it's really been mostly in that wing group that you're seeing that kind of those change ups. We haven't really seen it with the front court as much. Garza is kind of locked in that second big spot, at least for the minutes right now. RJ mentioned Boucher. We haven't seen Boucher in a while. We haven't seen Tillman much. I know he got a couple spot minutes. Was it Friday or was it the game prior? He came in for a couple minutes.
I think it was Wednesday. Or
was it Wednesday?
Whatever early week game. I think it was Tuesday they actually played. I keep getting mixed up.
Right.
Clippers
he
game for Shireman?
We're
talking about? Yeah.
No, for Tillman.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he had that was in Brooklyn, I think, because maybe he had foul trouble.
Oh, it was the first Brooklyn game. I think, yeah, you're right. So, we've seen all that kind of, we've seen all these wings get their shots. We haven't really seen it with the front court yet, though. So I'm curious to see if Joe's going to experiment there at some point this season. I know Garza's had some strong performances lately. But maybe now is the time to see those other guys and see what they can provide as the rest of the lineup shakes up in different ways.
Yeah, and I think Garza has been a lot of fun. Like I think he's been like a semi-consistent bright spot. I don't want to give him too much credit because he has his shortcomings. He has things he's not good at. But like he gives you great energy off the bench. He does a good job of doing what he's supposed to do in his role based on what's expected of him as a player, despite his shortcomings. And I would love to continue to see more of him. He shot well last game, made his threes. Didn't finish well on the short roll. He was not so willing to pass the ball when the Nets would blitz the ball handler. He would be open on the short roll. Maybe somebody else was open on the perimeter. He elected to shoot the floater a couple times. Didn't really work. Robbie, any trends that have stuck out to you since the last time we all talked? Anything that you've been noticing over the last several weeks?
Well, I think it's impossible not to think about like how Walsh has impacted the starting lineup. He's probably been the biggest like trendsetter. Seeing someone that has embraced the primary assignment defensively. We didn't really see that before he got into the starting lineup. I know Jalen had comments about it and his kind of influence in giving him that opportunity. I think that's kind of the biggest thing we've seen since they last played Orlando was having this guy that can guard, on the perimeter. He can guard bigs. We've seen him against Jaren Jackson and Maxey and like it's just so unique to see someone get that opportunity that prior to that hadn't really established himself in a role. So like a lot of it starts there is figuring out who's the primary defender on these top guys. And the fact that he's getting this opportunity and doing well makes it so much easier on the guys next to him that he's sharing the floor with.
Walsh has been so fun, man. He's so good. I think he's like Sean Grandy put out the stat. He's like top 10 in total plus minus this season or something like that, which is ridiculous. It's some stat like that. I don't want to misspeak because I can't imagine the Celtics have 3 guys in the top 10, and I think that's what I saw, considering they're 8-8. But I mean, if they do, that's even more crazy. I'm going to go look it up right now. But his impact defensively with the matchups they can go to, with, like you said, Robbie, his ability to take on some of these number one options, which Jalen hasn't been doing as much just because of his role on offense. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So this is NBA plus minus leaders of teams not above 500. So it's pretty defined stat. But Keita is plus 126 on the season. Pritchard and Walsh both plus 62. Both of those are top, 6 in the NBA. So it's pretty obvious to see the impact he's making. I think this is interesting too. I don't know why Ugo's not playing as much. For what it's worth, I think his Nets minutes in the last game were probably the best minutes. I think he was a plus 12 in a game they lost by 10 plus. So he played pretty good, but I don't know. I think the thing that's been most intriguing to me lately has been something like what you talked about, Sam, with the short roll. I think it's been so hit or miss with the plays they've been running, and I think the Nets game exposed some of the problems they have. Not even with the plays that Keita and Garza have been making, but just the ability to get it there. Like the Nets brought the center up to the level of the screen and just took out that entire pass. Like that's not okay. Like there has to be an option to beat that. Like you can't get beat by Noah Clowney pressing you in a 2-on-1. Like there has to be an option for them to go to. And it just feels like the Celtics, at least from what I've watched, have been a bit too. If our first read's not there, oh fuck, let's just figure something out.
That's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Nets game, like when they fell behind, when they really gave up the massive run at the end of the third quarter, it was the ball would not only would the ball not get past the 3-point line, but it wouldn't even get like past above the break. It wouldn't swing. It was just the guy would get blitzed. He would swing it to somebody. It was Hauser a couple times. They would take a long catch and shoot 3, and that was it. They weren't really creating much. There were moments in the game where they did hit the short roll. I was particularly impressed with Nimi making good decisions out of the short roll. He found the corner a couple different times, swung the ball, made the extra pass, and I think that was like a good level of growth from him as a decision maker. But man, do they really need just good energy. Like Ugo could be a great piece in that, especially considering Jalen's post-game comments Friday with the energy that Ugo injected into the game. I would love to see more of them. Fun Ugo tidbit today. The coaching staff was explaining to Ugo that when somebody calls you a motherfucker, it's not always a bad thing. Like you can be like a bad motherfucker, or you can be like the motherfucker nobody wants to see. And he was like, that's an insult. No, they're like, no, like not always. So little like language barrier there because I can imagine like being a kid growing up in Spain, like you know a good amount of English, but like it's like when you learn things in school and you don't really understand the nuance to certain words. I'm sure that comes into play quite often here. But as a basketball player, nothing's being misunderstood. The guy plays hard, and he is, in fact, a motherfucker, Robbie.
That'd be a fantastic nickname. Maybe Basketball Reference can get in on that, but maybe just for us, maybe not for the kids. What's interesting with the short roll is like we were so spoiled with Drew and Al and Luke. I mean, Luke is probably one of the best short roll bigs I've really seen a lot of in my time as a fan. Like his instincts of where to move that ball were just so exceptional. Like you just don't see guys like that. So, Nimi this is not something that he's super accustomed to. This is definitely a new skill set that he's kind of figure out. I think Tillman's probably the best short roll big they have.
Yes.
So maybe if they're implementing more of that, you'll see some of him in some short stints, but there's a learning curve there. And I agree. I think Sam brought it up, but like Keita made some nice reads out of that play a couple times in these last 2 games. So that's nice to see, but you can tell he's not like quite there at the comfort level that we are accustomed to with the options they had last year.
Yeah, no, I mean, the difference between Nimi decision-making, I mean, I've said this a million times, but a million different things for Nimi, and I could not have been more wrong about a player. He has exceeded every expectation that I've had for him by a mile, and I'm thrilled for him. The difference between Nimi's decision-making, even like preseason to now, is astronomical. Like, he has been awesome, like unbelievably impactful for the Celtics team. Defensively, like you guys are talking about, short roll, playmaking, just everything he's doing is just everything you need from a big. Like, if we went into the season and we're like, okay, this is what Nimi needs to do to help the Celtics win basketball games, he's doing almost all of it. And there's still some of those moments where like he gets beat. He got beat by Nick Claxton a few times, a few more times than you'd probably like him to do in a game last game, but it's just night and day. And for what it's worth, I know the numbers are like, oh my God, when he's on the floor, they're terrible. I think Luka Garza's been a lot better lately. I think he actually is improving steadily defensively. It's still not perfect. He still gets beat. He can't really jump. He fouls a bit too often, but like the offensive rebounding, he's improving positioning defensively. I think he is getting better. Like, I don't think the big man rotation has been the reason for their losses as much as I thought it would be.
I think one small thing with Nimi that I've really been impressed with this year is I think he's improved as a screener. I know Scal used to bring it up a lot last year where he would kind of abandon the screen a little too early, or he would like slip it when he should stay a little pat and like make the contact. I think we're seeing him be a little more forceful in that regard. And like, those are small things. Those aren't things that are showing up on stats. There's certainly not something I'm backing up with stats by saying it, but it's just like an eye test thing that you're seeing this player kind of improve on. That's making the offense flow a little bit better through that pick and roll game.
It's going to be a big part of what, or with any improvement, going forward. Back to what you said, Jack, about Luka. I'm very curious how much of like the defensive shortcomings of some of these guys, not so much Anthony Simons because he's had a lot of NBA experience so far, but like players like Luka Garza or Josh Minot who've been in the league for a couple of years but don't really get consistent playing time, where it's like, how much, if you're the coaching staff, do you really have to live with and roll with the punches of guys making defensive mistakes when they just don't have the sky miles or the pilot miles, whatever, pilot hours, I guess, to truly be ready for that, and like you have to let them learn on the fly. I may ask about that later. Now I think about it, but it could be a big part of what you're seeing with Luka Garza because he's not a perfect product. He's somebody who's impressed me so far this season, but he still has a long way to go. And if you like go back to when Luke Cornett first got to this team after he was let go and then bounced around on some 10 days and then came back, you probably could feel a lot of the same things where it's like he does some things nicely, struggles in other areas, and if he's able to clean it up, he could be a nice rotation player, which he has become. So I'm a little bullish on Luka Garza. Little media darling Luka Garza.
I like Garza, man. He's imperfect, like I said, but he's been good. And he's given them some 3-point shooting. He's given them this, the floaters, which didn't fall last game, I think, like you said. But I don't know, man. I just think this team's better than 8-8. I stand by everything I've said about them since the start of the year. I think they'll be fine, and they're going to have a bad loss here and there, like Friday night, inevitably, like most mid-tier playoff teams do. But just see how it goes. I'm taking it game by game still.
Yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot about this like 5-game stretch. I know we have that impressive win against Cleveland when they didn't have Garland. That was an extremely impressive win early in the season. Oh well, okay. But like, I think we are gonna learn a lot about how this team plays against playoff caliber groups, and whether or not the record dictates how good they are at this stage. We're gonna see this team play some really stiff competition, and Orlando's playing better ball than they were at the time that we last played them. Guys are out, obviously, but they still have rotation pieces that are still quality players, like De Silva and Goga are guys that can impact the game in their own right in different ways. So you're going to learn a lot about how this team can fight, especially after a loss like Brooklyn, where Jalen did challenge these guys and did bring up the energy that needed to kind of, in his words, like shift.
Deservedly so. They were ass.
Keeping it a buck, we asked.
Trying to be nice.
It's very fair. Yeah, it's a good point. I keep seeing stats float around online where it's like, we have talked ad nauseum about the Celtics having a good net rating despite being 500 and like not really looking great at times, but yet they're still in the top 10. When you filter that a little bit, you look against bad teams versus good teams. The better the team, the worse that stat gets, which you probably could say for every team in the league. You're just probably going to play better against the bad teams. But the significant drop for the Celtics is a little bit concerning, and especially with the 10 games they have ahead, with the exception of Washington. It may be a turbulent few weeks here, but it's going to be a great chance for us to learn things. Like if they come out today and they play really well against the Magic and they show some backbone and they respond the way that I'm sure the team itself is hoping that they can respond, then it may spark something in them. It could really unite the guys after a devastating loss to a bad Nets team in an important game in the NBA Cup. I'm excited to see how this goes today. It does suck that Orlando's a little shorthanded, but nonetheless, like Franz has been playing really good basketball lately. Still have to deal with him. He's been a pain in the ass for Boston.
Yeah, Baines looked really good lately too. I mean, he's given them a pretty efficient 20 points since they last played. Good on defense. Their defense has been significantly better since that last meeting earlier in the month. So Orlando's figuring things out. I think a lot of people figured they would at some point kind of find out what works and what doesn't with that group. And it certainly adds a little more questions, than answers when one star is out and the other one flourishes. Like, how do those two pair together? But like, as long as they have one of Franz or Paulo on the floor, like that's a team that is really tough and really hard to beat.
Yeah, man, I think the Magic are going to be fine. I think they're a playoff team. I mean, I know Sam, you mentioned shorthanded. This is still a better team than the Nets they lost to 3 days ago. So they better bring it no matter what. Like, I don't think that's a reason for them to slack off. But I don't know. I think this Magic team is one a lot of people expected to be like top 3 in the conference pretty handedly with the Knicks and the Cavs, but they haven't played like that, at least until recently. And I don't know. The East to me is just so wide open. There is no one team.
Pistons.
Maybe Detroit, but even them.
Yes.
Actually being, but even they this is their first season of them actually being like legitimate potential top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference.
They have to deal with it.
There's no team that I look at and say, oh yeah, that should be the runaway favorite to win the Eastern Conference.
They have to go through the, hey, you might be frauds talk, just like everybody else. When you are the team that was mediocre to above average last year, and then you all of a sudden are ripping off 12-game win streaks, we all going to talk about you like you're the Cavs last year. Cavs won a bunch of games, didn't earn a lot of respect, fall flat in the playoffs, lose to the Pacers in 5 games. It was earned. Back to Orlando today. Interesting tidbit of this matchup. Orlando being one of the better foul-drawing teams in the NBA after what we saw from Friday from the Celtics, where they just fouled the fuck out of the Nets. Like, they sent them to the free throw line. Jalen was in foul trouble. Nemi was in foul trouble. Luka Garza at one point in the game was in foul trouble. They need to do a little bit better of a job being a more disciplined team because they do foul towards the top of the league this year. And this could get ugly if the numbers play into themselves.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, they do have the benefit of not having to deal with Banchero, who I think we talked about it last time, was I think still leads the league in free throw attempts per game. So we are talking about the team that is at the top of the league of getting to the line. Wagner's very good at doing that. Bain's good at doing that. They've got the options to still kind of pick on us. But I think when you see a guy like Clowney or Daron Sharp constantly get to the line, it does give you a little worry of like, it doesn't matter who's out there. You guys just have to play straight up defense. When you help and help aggressive, it has to be clean. Like, I think they got really shown up in a lot of ways in that Brooklyn game. But I think you brought up like the way they fouled was a huge reason why that game went south before clutch time, and why they had to fight back the way they did, down 17, 15.
Yeah, it got ugly at one point. RJ asking how many M1s did the Nets get on Friday? Don't know off the top of my head. I feel like Michael Porter Jr. had 3 alone, like towards the end of the game. He just went nuclear. And to tie it all together, Robbie, you started the show talking about the handoff action. I almost wonder if the Celtics should roll that out every once in a while. Like, can Derek White benefit from that? Already having an advantage as a pick and roll ball handler. Can Anthony Simons benefit from that? Like, what? I think the Celtics need to do a better job, because we talked about the offense in this too, at just setting themselves up to have advantages without having the players need to create them as like a skill thing. Like, it shouldn't require the ball handler to go crazy. I'm probably lagging a little bit too. But anything specific offensively you want to see from them, whether it could be schematically, whether it could be players stepping up, that might make you feel better about the next 10 games or today going forward?
I think I do like that action a lot, but I think the flare screen is a really great way for guys like Peyton, Sam, and Simons to get catch and shoot space. Specifically with a guy like Simons, you don't want to rely on him so much to be so ISO heavy, because it can kind of halt the offensive flow. As good as he is, and it can be in the isolation, like those actions, especially early on in a possession, just kind of get you a little more space to operate. Gives you a side pick and roll possibly out of the gate. Like, there's a lot you can do with it. And also with a guy like Sam, who hasn't been shooting as lights out as we expect, that's just an action that he thrives on. So I would like to see more of those. But you brought up, the top of the key handoff action. Yeah, we don't see that a whole lot. And I do really like that action. I think that would be great for Keita running to the rim. I think that'd be awesome to see.
Keita would be just a triple-double threat. Go ahead.
My only worry with the handoff actions is I think they did it a couple times in this game, and those were the ones where they brought the center up to the level and the offense just went to like shit. So I don't know what it is. I just don't know if they like Pritchard. Maybe it's part of it is Pritchard and Simons are so small that if the other team has 2 bigger guys, like a lot of the ones they were running, they had maybe it was Tillman on him, who's like 6'8", and then Noah Clowney or Nick Claxton, who's also 6'10". They struggled to get over it. At least when it was Garza and not Keita, the roll timing was a little off. It felt like Keita's pretty good at slipping and knowing when to get out and like timing it up, but it feels like at times it can get a little slow. And if that timing's off even a little bit, then you got 2 bodies in your face and it's tough to time up the pass. So I don't know. I've liked some of the flare screens they've been setting, like you mentioned. I like they have this set they go to where they run a double pick on both sides and make reads out of there. I don't know. I've enjoyed some of the plays Joe's been using. I've been tracking some of them in my little play sheet of stuff that I'd like to see. I'll probably have another one of those plays videos I made a week ago. I think I'm going to try to do this once a week. And I don't know. It's been some fun stuff. And I'm curious to see if they deploy more of it as the year goes on.
Yeah. I mean, RJ put in the chat, feels like they're still learning each other a little bit, which I agree. Like, I think you have a lot of new pieces coming into this team, and as the games go on, they've gotten a little bit better. Like, there's definitely significant improvement from the first 3 games when they went 0-3. Like, that goes without saying. But, like, they've done a better job of rebounding. They've really improved there. And, Robbie turned down the music as Jack and I are both in the arena. We can actually get ready to wrap up there. There's only a few minutes left on the clock in here. Robbie, any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to plug that you're working on for Celtics blog? Happy to let people know about that.
Nothing to plug today. I'm writing the recap for the game, so if you're unable to watch the game, check it out. Get in that comment section. Let's talk about it. Follow me on Twitter, Robbie Fletcher. I don't remember my @ but you can find me. It's just this face.
I'll read it to you. It is rFletcher_VT. I have the pregame tweet up right now.
And I'll still give out my social security number if anyone wants it. I brought it up last time. Anyone can have the first 3-4 digits. I'll do it. I don't care. Just follow me.
Robbie, a Virginia Tech alum, any thoughts on James Franklin before we go?
I love a home run, man. Hey, let's see it. I'm tired.
I can't
of
wait
losing.
to see him lead Enter Sandman up the tunnel. That's gonna be
cool.
goosebumps. All right, we can wrap it up there. Jack and I are back in the morning with the game recap. Make sure you guys follow along, subscribe to the channel, follow Robbie. Thanks for everyone for coming out. Here's Joe. Goodbye.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your